tell us some of the science about doodling, because some people listening to this, I am a doodler. I have
Mhm.
spent my entire life
Oh, nice.
at in high business circles
Yeah.
and very important continuing education courses, doodling away through the whole entire thing and having the person next to me looking over with disdain as if
Uh-huh.
I'm not listening. So for all the doodlers out there, let's just get the science on doodling
Yeah.
and what it does to our brain and memory
Well,
and all that.
totally. I'm glad. Like we should have a doodle revolutionary moment,
Okay.
because the reason I got real fired up about it, and then invited people into a conversation about visual language and visual literacy, is because I observed people doing it all over the world, because I was teaching visual facilitation,
Okay.
and then I was teaching like visual language, and then I was talking to people, and then I was like, wait a second. So this is a universal activity. It's grounding people in comprehension, and it's also awakening their imagination. It's helping them understand things. It's helping them make relationships spatially, et cetera, et cetera. It's doing all these wonderful things. And yet it's condemned, like in every environment where thinking is required. And I was just like, this does not work for me. Like, this is not okay with me.
Didn't the news make some big deal of a president's doodle at some
Oh
point,
yeah,
wasn't there?
because I started talking about that because I was trying to give credibility to visual language, and I was like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, if you look at the notebooks of our most beloved, celebrated thinkers and mathematicians and physicists and artists, they're all using visual language, and they're doing it spontaneously, and so it's a thinking companion. And so, how dare you, like tell students, young kids, like that somehow it's not acceptable, it's not appropriate, they don't have a right to bring that into an environment. I mean, I was incensed, and even talking about it now, I'm still incensed, because the effect is not good. It has a deleterious effect on people who are neurodivergent and who have diversity of learning styles, and it's just a missed opportunity. It's just silly. It's like, what is the problem exactly? Like, no one can name the problem. It's like that quote from Maya Angelou, I think, about hate has created problems, but it hasn't solved any. I'm like, this is not solving any problems. It's creating them. It's like,
Because the news, would they catch, was it a President Obama? Some president
I was,
doodling.
Clinton.
President Clinton doodling. And then it turns out people were making fun of something that was actually Bill Gates's doodle as well.
That was a great little moment. It was like at the Davos Forum, the Economic Forum. And I remember Gates got blamed. No, but he didn't get, Clinton got blamed for it, but Gates was the one, it was his too. But the point for me was like, why are you blaming anyone? There's no problem. Like, why would you shame someone for needing to use that medium to stay connected to the present moment, to understand what's happening, to make sense of what's happening, to remember what's happening, to innovate on what's happening? Like, why would you do that? Because some schmuck told you a story that was false when you were 5. Like, no, sir,
Right. Right. Or
Not
somebody that wasn't a visual thinker
Yeah.
criticized you. Tell us what your definition of visual thinking is.
Oh, well, I think of it as just another modality. So I train people to think visually. Most
Okay.
people do, just to navigate the world. If you're a seeing person, you, on some level, you have to have the capability of perceiving visual sensory information and navigating. But I actively teach people how to integrate that into their other tools. So everybody knows linguistics, and they like have numbers, and we have music, we have some modalities. So I teach people how to bring visual language into those landscapes. And that just means that you bring in symbols and icons and color and fonts and things that are images, like whatever you can do to actually not artistically render the world, but sort of spatially and conceptually and creatively render it so that you understand a subject matter better. And there is some resistance in terms of people perceive that they need to be skillful artistically. And so I'm talking about very rudimentary, very, very basic language. So if you need to draw a molecule, like what you can write about a molecule, and you should, but you should also draw it,
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
those things complement each other. And so
Yeah.
they're companions in the thinking process.
Mhm.
And I collected so many stories because I talked to thousands of people over during the Doodle Revolutionary, the peak of those years. And it literally helps people pass certain subjects that they could not pass otherwise, like organic chemistry. You know, it helps physicists understand the nature of the universe. It's like to take it out is just silly. There's no value from doing that.